Alrighty then, so this is gonna be our first video here on this YouTube channel. I usually do it on my Instagram, so it's kind of my first time I'm doing this kind of long length video for you guys. It's gonna be a 20-minute video of doing these struts. I believe this was like a 2016-2020 Corolla. I don't remember the year exactly, it was a while ago. We're gonna start by taking off the tire. Then here we're gonna start by disconnecting the sway bar end link. Sway bar end link is a 17 on this vehicle. Then from there we're gonna be disconnecting the speed sensor. The speed sensor is connected to the hub, and it is with a 10. You take away the 10, and then there's like a clip that holds onto the strut. You remove that, and then I end up tucking it in there, so that way when I take out the strut, it doesn't kind of get in my way.
You did the good repair work, honestly.
Alright, after I tucked in the speed sensor, I'm going to grab my 22 wrench, and I'm also going to grab my half-inch impact real quick, just to take it out, make it pretty smooth. Got that 22 socket, bam. As soon as they're loosened up, pretty much good to go on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring the jack. It is a little sketchy here because you can see that plate where we usually drive onto the car to align it to lift up the vehicle. There's like a bump on there, so even if I were to come in the other way, it would still be a little weird. So that's why I'm saying it's a little sketchy, because it was a little sketchy, but I mean, hey, it just needs to hold it for right now, right? And I'm just sitting here. Now let's go ahead and take it on the top here real quick. I'm going to show you the 314s that I'm going to be taking out, loosening them. As soon as I loosen them, you'll see the actual whole strut kind of drop down on the jack. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the jack a little, and that allows me enough play to actually loosen up those bolts out of there. You can see it's a bit of struggle, so I'm going to go ahead, get in position here, because as soon as I take out those studs, that strut is gonna fall down. So there we go, drop it a little bit, allows me to take out one, and then I'm gonna take out the other, and it's pretty much out. Alright, so now we're gonna take the strut into our compressor machine. We do have two at our shop. We have like an on-wall compressor machine, which is really sketchy, and then we have this one, which is a little newer. I like this one. I've used it before, and I'm very kind of aware of how to use it. I do like to space out each grabber pad. I don't like to put it on the same exact like coils. I'll do, like, let's say the left one, I'll do it on the bottom one, and then the right one I'll go one more up. I don't like to do on the same one, just to give a good separation of compression here. Alright, now that I have everything pretty much kind of where I want it, I'm going to start actually tightening it. I use kind of like my channel lock pliers, something big enough to get those kind of like that nut pattern. Here what I like to do is I like to mark where each, like, you know how there's 3 studs on the top of the mount. I like to actually mark each one, just because they do have to go in the same exact pretty much spot when you put on the new one. If not, it creates a lot of noise, and also when you put it back, it won't line up the holes with those 3 studs. So it's just, I kind of like to mark everything where those 3 studs go, correlation with the spring, because you are going to reuse the spring, right? So There is a dust cover on top of the spring here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it off, and of course I drop it. So I'm gonna move it to the side, grab my gun. I believe it is, I want to say a 19 for this Toyota one. Again, it is different for each car. I've run into like auto zones where it's 15, so keep in mind what vehicle you're working on. But again, this is a Toyota, so usually we do like to use 19s for the top, well, top nut, excuse me. All right, now we're compressing it slowly. I do step to the side when I'm compressing it because it is a little sketchy, but still. What I like to do here is you actually see me move the top mount, and the reason why I'm doing that is as soon as I get play, I know it's loose enough. I know the spring's compressed, and I'm able to shoot it out without it kind of exploding on me like you see those crazy videos. So here we go. And boom, you can see it drop a little, nothing too crazy. Real quick, my neighbor's asking me for help, so I'm gonna go ahead, pop this out, and then give him a hand once I'm done. Alright, now that I got back from helping my partner, let's go ahead and spin you guys around and get set up on my desk here, because now we're gonna go ahead and reuse some parts you'll see to the new one. The only thing we're going to be reusing is mainly the bump stop. Sometimes you don't have to reuse those. Just for our thing, it wasn't in stock, and honestly it wasn't that deteriorated, so I could reuse it. If it's really brown orange and you could see it actually deteriorating, don't use it, just grab a new one. But like I said, for this instance we didn't have it in stock, so it wasn't too bad of condition. Also, we'll reuse, you're gonna see me grab from the old one, so there's that. There's like this little black pad which the spring sits on, and there's like little grooves that allow you to put it on the bottom strut, so that way you can't really mess it up because there's only kind of one way to put it on, which is really nice. So those are the only two things that I'm reusing. The top mount, the old one does come with that cover. I am going to reuse that too, so technically 3. But I do not reuse top mounts. The reason why is because there's a bearing inside the top mounts, and a lot of time that bearing does wear out over time, and it does make noise. Ask me how I've known. The one time I reused it, made noise, came back, and shot myself in the foot. Never again. I just kind of get new top mounts. Alright, while I'm putting everything back here, I'm making a weird ass face. Look at that. I don't know. Clearly I'm concentrating on how to put this cover on here. That's just so funny to me now that I'm watching it back and doing this voiceover. Alrighty then, now let's go ahead and start putting the strut assembly together. So the way the actual strut is on the top, you'll see like there's a bevel on the mount, and the bevel lines up exactly with the cutout with the strut. You have to align those correctly so that way it could actually poke through the top mount, and that allows you to put the nut on top. What I'm doing here again is I'm aligning my marks. Remember, I put those marks earlier, so I'm aligning them there to make sure they go on correctly, because again, if you don't line those up, it's going to be a pain in the butt putting that strut back on, and then you got to take it off and readjust everything. Alright, tightening it here. So what I do, I like to count actually the amount of like spaces or notches the nut goes deep into the mount. Usually it's like 4 or 5. I like to correlate it with the other one, or I'll kind of count it like before I'm taking it off to see it's like 4 or 5 marks. Okay, cool. So now when I put the new one on, I want to put it around that much. Alright, lining everything up, making sure everything's good, stepping away out of the way while I decompress it. Safety first, safety first. And then I'm pretty much done. Putting that dust cover back on, you do not want to forget that, because there's no way to put it on after you put it on. Trust me, I know. Grabbing the channel locks, taking it off here. And pretty much we have an all good strut ready to go, all assembled, ready to put in the car.
Oh, moment of truth, baby.
So this does take a bit of strength here. You could kind of hear me
Oh, beautiful.
messing with it. Excuse the
Super
language.
beautiful.
But there we go. Pretty much have it all in there. And then a bunch of shenanigans with my partner here.
Yeah.
That's what happens in a shop full of guys. You kind of end up doing some dumb stuff. Saying some dumb stuff. But I mean, hey, just part of the game, man. How to have fun in this industry, right? No comment. Side eye, no comment.
Not that strong, not that strong. What the hell, baby?
Alright, we're going to start zapping in the 22s here. Toyota torque spec for this vehicle is 199 foot-pounds. Of course, look at the torque spec for your vehicle, but this is a Toyota Corolla. Hatchy, it's a little hatchback. For the top, the three are 37 foot-pounds. Go ahead, tighten them up, and I'm going to do it with one hand, so I'm going to be weird camera angle, so forgive me for that. But like I said, it's 37 foot-pounds for the top, and for the bottom it's 199 for the two. Right here, I kind of want to try a different angle, kind of see how it is. Like I said, this is the first time using this kind of setup and recording this kind of videos, so I want to make it like as good as possible for you guys to see what I'm doing. Now we're gonna go ahead and torque the sway bar end link. Usually those I put at 30 to 32. And now we're reconnecting the speed sensor. Again, there's a clip that goes onto it. There's also a little clip that you do have to take from the old strut, put it onto the new one. So do be careful with that. Make sure to carry that over if your new strut doesn't have that. Alright, and lastly, we're going to go ahead and torque the 3. Like I said, it's 37 foot-pounds for this Corolla hatchback. Of course, check the specifications for your vehicle. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, it's pretty informative. Go ahead and leave in comments, you know, anything you think you guys would have done, any camera angles, anything I need to kind of work on for the next video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time.